There you go. You're good.
Pixie Woods, the enchanted forest of Stockton, California. Thank you all for being here today. First of all, we want to welcome you, of course, being here. And it looks like we have a great representation from the Lions Club. And of course, they were one of our big uh, community volunteer people that have always helped Pixie Woods get promoted. So just to give you a little history, you know, this park started back in 1954 as a group of gentlemen got together and said, you know, we need to do something for these kids. And so they got together and they started out with this park, and the city has taken it over as far as staffing and maintaining it. But our board of directors, our mission is to serve our community by providing an educational and recreational resource to children in the form of rides, slides, climbers, performances, and special events. So that's our main mission. But over the years, we've had many structures added to the park, and we've had wonderful community involvement, and we're just so thankful and proud. And I have to give a big shout out for our board. They are wonderful volunteers and continue to donate their time and energy and talents to make this park beautiful and continue to be an enjoyment for adults as well as children. So, thank you. I'm now going to introduce you to Gunter Canole, who's been on the board for over 40-some years, and Stephen Costa. They were the project managers on this beautiful structure, and they're going to give you a little history about it.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you all for coming to this dedication today for the Galaxy Quest that was in the works for...
Can't hear. Lift your mic.
Just put it closer to your mouth.
There you go. Closer?
Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
Was in the works for about 3 years, although the last year was a COVID year.
Yeah.
So, but I still remember the day in May of 2018 when I contacted Christina, where are you, Christina, to help us put together a play structure. And first thing she did is jump on a plane, come down to Pixie Woods and walk around with us. And then she worked with us in coming up with this wonderful Galaxy Quest. And then she jumped on a plane again today to be with us at a dedication all the way from Washington. Christina is a vendor and a advisor on play structures. So, welcome. And your husband, Ron, is here too. So the Pixie Woods Board of Directors placed the order for the Galaxy Quest to, of course, China. And as you know from your geography, the direct route from China to California is the Pacific Ocean, and then to a port on West Coast like Oakland. Well, our container ship in the Galaxy Quest took the long route, starting in the South China Sea, past the Philippines, past India, past Yemen, up the Red Sea, up the Suez Canal, up the exotic Nile River, into the Mediterranean Sea, and all the way through the Mediterranean Sea, past Italy and past Greece, out the Straits of Gibraltar, across the Atlantic into the Strait of Florida, and that's on the east coast, and then into the Gulf of Mexico, up the Mississippi River, up the Wabash River, into port of Chicago. That's a long sea route, 68 days, more than 68 days. more than 16,000 miles, which is about 2/3 of the circumference of our planet. Okay, and then on to Stockton by truck. Okay, so we got the Galaxy Quest to Stockton, disassembled of course. And one issue came up is the hot California sun that would bear down on our structure and on our poor little astronauts, and that would not be too good. So in came Stephen Costa with a great idea. Stephen, how did you come up with this beautiful structure?
I was told to.
Thank you, that's enough.
Gunther has the long of it. I'm going to give you the quick short of it. It's cool that this is China. The equipment's from China, but the actual industrial shading is actually from Australia, so we have our international flavor. But this was an absolute wonderful collaboration, all of this, and Gunther started to touch on that. City of Stockton, Parks and Rec, our vendors like Christine, the cement contractors, the bench and table suppliers, the mechanics that had to put a Chinese piece of equipment together without instructions. The shade installers came in from Napa. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And it was what, Gunther, 14 months at least after it landed. So great collaboration. But there was a common thread here that I want to talk about. And that is, I was out here, like Gunther, days of each week. In fact, my tent and sleeping bag was right over where that guy's standing. But the common thread was that each and every person working out here, all of a sudden I'd see a big grin on their face while they're working. And I had time, as a retiree, to get their stories. And almost to a person, and I had to hear this 10 times, what a beautiful park you have that I didn't know about. Or, gosh, I live in Fremont, I haven't been here since I was 4. I'm bringing my grandkids back. Got a lot of neat publicity from a lot of really, really hard-working people. In fact, the industrial shade people, it's the largest they've ever made. It's 25 feet tall. And I came out here one day to see teeth gnashing and tears, and the crew was sitting there and they said, we don't know how to get it all the way across. So they figured it out, right? And that's what's heartwarming. The fact that all these people work together to ensure that the children of our city have a safe, happy place to play is wonderful, and I was just proud to be a part of it. That's it.
Thank you, Stephen. We have many people, businesses, and organizations to thank for making the Galaxy Quest possible. First of all, a big donation came from the Thorpe family. Marty, where are you?
Yeah.
There's Marty.
Marty.
There's Marty. Marty, with his wife, there's Marty.
That's him.
Good, we'll wonder about that. Marty and his wife, Beth, and is Rachel here too?
But she couldn't make it all the way. Very tough.
I still remember, I'll never forget when, is that Beth? I bet, yeah. When Marty and I walked the Pixie Woods here, big mound of dirt and a concrete structure and a seal pond. I said, Marty, this all has to go, the seal pond, the concrete structure. Tons and tons of soil and dirt and concrete has to go.
In those days, it was almost like concrete was free when they poured it. Because it was thick. And the neat part of it was, is I remember and I saw the seals. You know, I mean, they were there, and to be perfectly honest with you, I just wish they still were, but they don't, those days are gone, I'm afraid. It's pretty expensive. Anyway, it worked out real well on that part of it, and I was spurred by the fact that a dear family friend of ours had been involved in Pixie Woods from the start, and she put together the train out here in honor of her 2 sons that she had lost, Richard and little Jimmy. And my mom was deeply involved with her in the Wilkuma Club, which used to be a club that welcomed people to Stockton and so forth. And when Tyler was born in October 14th, 99, it seemed perfect, but it didn't work out that way. He had a blood disease, which is a very rare 1 in 500,000, and he packed a lot of life into 2.5 years. I brought a picture of him, and he, I mean, it was pretty tough. He was quite a little guy. He would jump out of that car and get on the lawnmower. Totally different from his sister, you know, just yeah, and he fought a good battle, but he wasn't able to make it. But when this came through, I was happy to help.
Let me lead up to that, Marty. Huh? When Marty and I walked the park here and came up with all all the dirt and stuff that needs to be done, concrete work needs to be removed. I said to Marty, "How much is it going to cost?" He said, $30,000 bucks. $30,000. So he paused and said, "But I'm not going to charge you anything if you put up a plaque in memory of my grandson, Tyler James." Here's Tyler. And here's the plaque. Here's the plaque for Tyler James.
Yeah, way cool.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Don't go away.
Yeah.
Gary, Anita, are you here? I guess not. Okay. A big donation came from Secret Engineering.
Can't hear. Mike, put the mic up by your.
Sorry about that. Yeah. A big donation came from Secret Engineering. They prepared those detailed plans, architectural plans, all the specifications and calculations. A tremendous job. Right? This was 24 by 36-inch plans. They kept revising them as needed, and they're always very kind when I barged into the office with another change. And they prepared the plans. And they prepared the plans for plan checking. And Dale Henry, raise your hand. He guided it through the city system for plan checking, and thank you very much for Mr. doing it. Paul, are you here? Paul Schneider? Ah, Paul. So we thank Paul for all the tremendous assistance in it. The actual architect that drew the plans.
Up by your mouth.
Pardon me?
Just up there.
Okay. The actual architect that drew the plans sent me an email last night saying how much he enjoyed doing the plans. How he said it was meant so much for him to draw the plans for Pixie Woods. But he couldn't make it today because he's just recovering from COVID. So he sent his best wishes, but he cannot make it himself. But instead, we thank Managing President Paul Schneider for your support. Thank you very much. We want to especially thank Vice Mayor Christina Fugazi for the very generous.
Mike.
Oh boy. Want to thank very much Christina Fugazi, Vice Mayor of Stockton, for her generous donation. Christina, are you here? I guess not. Okay. We also want to thank contractor Keith Keeter from Nortel Construction for his all the concrete work that he did, a retaining wall and footings for not only the structure itself but also for the shade structure. And we counted how many? 42 footings, I think, if I remember. 44 footings. 44 footings. Tremendous job. So thank you, Keith. We want to thank the city of Stockton for that contribution and participation. So thank you, city of Stockton. I don't know if you're here. Stephen Chang, John Wright, Sue Christie, Patrick Bingham, and others. So thank you for your Last but not least comes the biggest donation of all. An over $150,000 donation from the Pixie Woods Board of Directors. Raise your hand, board members. How did this rather small board, volunteer board, come up with that kind of money? From our annual Pixie Woods wine and beer tasting benefits. We didn't have one this last 2 years because of the COVID, but we'll have one next June. And we hope to all see you there, where there's 30 plus wineries, 20 plus restaurants, live music, 3 or 4 venues, silent auction, and more. It's a blast, and I hope to all see you there. Most of you I recognize have been there before, so come and see us again. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for your attendance, and thank you very much for your donation.